All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. I want to get into this little lesson real quick here. As the screen says right here, his son made a sacrifice. Where's yours? Okay? You're looking for salvation from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You're looking for salvation from on high. Protection, good, right? Well, you got to make your body a living sacrifice, okay? On to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? You got to walk in the steps of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? If you're looking for that reward, okay? As the scriptures say, let me get it real quick. Sirach chapter 51 and verse 30, work your work B times, and in his time he will give you your reward. So you're looking for a reward from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You're looking for salvation. Well, do the things that they told you to do. Okay, when you go into Romans chapter 12 and 1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Once again, going back into the topic, his son made a sacrifice. Where's yours? Okay, you want good, you want that protection, you gotta earn it. All right. So going back into this, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. So the Most High don't expect us to go out there and do some silly shit, some dumb shit, right? That's just your reasonable service. Do what the Lord said to do, okay? And it is a reasonable service. The Lord's not saying go out there and cut yourself in the back and do all this type of crazy shit and so on and so forth. He's not saying go jump off a building, so on and so forth, He say, hey, go out there, keep these commandments to the best of your ability and serve me, okay? That's it. So going back into this, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Right? Put off that old man. And we're going to go into the scriptures on that. That you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. Okay? So, hold on one second. Yeah, so like here, going back into that. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay? Putting off the old man. Okay? The things that you used to do in the world, put that all away. All that fashion of the world and the things that you're doing, put that away, okay? That unnecessary junk, what we call. The way you used to live your life in the world, eating pork, doing the most extreme, hanging out with the guys, over drinking at the bar, getting too drunk and all those things, So, renew your mind, man. Find that proper balance. Make your service unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Put away the old man, okay? That you may be found without spot, without blemish, right? In that day, that you may catch salvation, right? So anyways, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh, okay? So going back into this, so we get back, let's go to 1 Peter. Fucking devils is always these fucking heathens, man. Always trying to find a way to stop the men of the Lord from preaching. But anyways, let's get back into this. 1 Peter chapter 2 and 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps, okay? So follow after his steps, all right? Yahushua said what? That I didn't come to do away the law, but to fulfill, right? He came to show you what is that perfect and acceptable will of Yahweh, okay? So we have to follow. If we're looking for salvation, you're looking for that protection, you're looking for that hedge, we have to follow in the ways of his son, okay? Because when Yahushua walked this earth, right? As Yahweh Shai, he didn't go off, all right? He didn't go off. He did what he was supposed to do. And the Lord is well accepted with him, okay? So guess what? This is why the Lord said this. This is why Yahweh said this. Let me get this real quick. Mark chapter 9 and 6 or 7. And there was a cloud that overshadowed them, and a voice came out of the cloud saying, "This is my beloved son. Hear him." Okay, that's who we follow. Okay, that's why in Acts, Peter said, what? Acts chapter 5 and 29, Peter said what? That we ought to obey who? Yahweh. We ought to obey Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, rather than men. Alright? Men ain't gonna bring you salvation. Men gonna tell you their desires, their lusts, okay? What they want, their carnal aspects, okay? But what is expected of us, okay? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he showed us that way, okay? And it's written right here in the scriptures as a blueprint, okay? Ain't no other, what's the word? Ain't no other better blueprint you can find in the world but here, okay? All these other people's religions, you know, these Chinese, these Indians, all those people, that's a lost religion, man. That's a lost way, okay? But this is the true way right here of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay? Fucking heat, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gonna wrap these heathens up, man. But anyways, let's get back into this. So we must follow after who? Yahweh Shai, okay? Follow after his footsteps, follow after his ways. We always say this, you know, what would Yahweh Shai do? When you go into a certain situation, you know, what would Yahweh Shai do? Okay? That's how your mind's supposed to be thinking, you know? So anyways, let's get into this. Not how the carnal man would move, but how Yahweh Shai would move. Okay, when you fall into a situation. Is it Judges 20 and 20? Salakia, hold up. Joshua? Oh, Salakia, it is Joshua. And Joshua 24 and 14. Now therefore fear Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and truth. And put away gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt. And serve ye Yahweh. Okay? So that's who we gotta serve. We gotta serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? Now therefore fear Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and truth. Okay? In sincerity and truth. These guys out here don't want to serve the Lord in sincerity and truth. They want the old man, the old ways, you know, and they want salvation. It don't happen like that. Okay? It don't happen like that at all. You gotta make your body a living sacrifice, just like Yahweh Shai did. You gotta make your body a living sacrifice, all right? Because it doesn't go down like that. Like I said, you want something in expectations, right? What a big man is saying, you gotta earn it, okay? You gotta earn it, simple and plain. You know, if I left a house and I said, yo, this house, I want this place clean. I'm hiring 10 of you guys. And there's 10 rooms here to be clean. Each one of you guys got your own individual room to clean. You know? And at the end when I come back, I'm going to give you all a bonus. Alright? If you went over, you know, my expectations. You know, as long as you pass my expectations, good, you're still getting paid. But you're going to get a bonus if you go over. So I come back now and I see like all 9 rooms are clean exquisitely, you know? But one room is like, you know, you could have done a better job, you know? I'm still seeing shit on the carpet, you know, not vacuumed out. So what do you expect? You expect to get that bonus? No, you're not going to get the bonus. But the 9 who made that effort, they're going to get the bonus, okay? They're going to get the reward, all right? And in this case, metaphorically, what I'm speaking is, you know, Yahweh Shai said to those servants, you know, I leave you with this amount, that amount, that amount. And they said, all right, let's go multiply it. But the one servant was wicked, and he didn't go multiply it, okay? Give me that back. Let me get what you have onto those who already have, man. You know? You don't want to be caught out there like that. Because that equals no salvation, all right? That equals death, okay? That equals the lake of fire. So you're looking for a reward from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Well, you gotta earn it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Okay? Which is going out to the highways and byways. But first of all, you yourself be a doer, not just a hearer, right? You gotta actually practice what you preach, as they say. Go out to the highways and byways, you know what I mean? Make your lessons, you know, and throughout your day-to-day life, you know, you're constantly reminding yourself or meditating on the fact that, hey, I'm looking for a reward from my Savior, man, you know? And he said to walk in these ways. I'm going to make sure that I try to, you know, follow to the best of my ability, you know? When I go off, hey, get back up on my feet, right? Get back up on my feet and pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and keep it moving, right? Try to offend less and less, right? But the most important thing, it says to what? Work out your own salvation with what? Fear and trembling, all right? So his son made a sacrifice, you gotta make a sacrifice too, all right? It's plain and simple, man. It's not that hard. Let's go to Matthew 19. Oh yeah. So this young man here, he didn't want to make that sacrifice. Let's get into this lesson. Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? Right? Looking for that reward, looking for salvation, right? From on high, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, which? Yahushai said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery. Then, Slakia, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And a neighbor is actually a man in his truth, not some fucking guy next door beating up his girlfriend or his girlfriend beating up him. That's not your neighbor. Your neighbor is a man in his truth, okay? The young man saith unto him, All these things I have kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Yahushua said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Now watch what the young man was like, what the hell? But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Okay? So this man had great possessions in the earth, lots of carnal things. Nowadays, let's equate that to what? A big house, maybe 3 Mercedes, you know, maybe 3 ladies, you know. He had a lot of things, jewelry, you know. He had his foot in the world, a good foothold in the world, let's say it like that, okay? Now, all the Lord said is, you know, he didn't say nothing harsh to him. He said, well, if thou will be perfect, you know, get all that weight. Basically, get all that weight off your back, man. You know, go sell all that thy has, all these possessions. These things will water you down to try to keep you into the world, right? And go what? Feed the poor, all right? That's a much needy cause right there. And that shows humility. That shows, you know, you humbling yourself, so on and so forth. An integral man would do that, right? In the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because at the end of the year, day and week, all that material thing. Look, 2,000 years since Yahushai told that rich, this youth that, right? Where's this guy's items? Where's his gold? It's probably melted down, stolen by Titus, you know, so on and so forth. You get what I'm trying to say. So look at that. He fucked up and double dribbled. You know, he carried the ball a little too long. And that individual is back again in his lot, probably doing the same damn thing again. Okay? Probably one of the brothers, the apostles, you know, probably one of the apostle elders, you know, the elders, the bishops, the Achaeum, somebody probably told him this very same thing. And he walked away sorrowful yet again up to today. Okay? Hey, that's how it is, man. But anyways, you know, you got to go make that sacrifice, okay? And that sacrifice that young man was told to make, you know, would have you know, help that weight off his back, I would say. You know, the weightiness of the world, right? Because that shit right there, women, possessions, all those things right there can make you fall out of the truth, okay? Those things right there, wine and women, so on and so forth, can make you fall out of the truth, man. Okay, this is why we always gotta be on our guard, you know, move light, okay? So let's get back into this. Luke chapter 5 and 37. Lamming off of that. Luke chapter 5 and 37. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles and be spilled, and the bottles shall perish. But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both are preserved. Okay, so guess what? You got to get rid of that old man, as we always say. Get rid of the old man, okay? Because the old man is what's holding you back. And just like I said with that individual there, the same man that had multiple things, you know, possessions in the world, well, that stuff will hold you back. Just like I said, the women, they'll hold you back. You know, you always tend into these women. Maybe you got 6 kids with one, 6 kids with another. You know, that shit is a distraction, man. Because now the kids, they're going to school, certain things, something happens, you gotta go, you know, discipline the kids or put order down, and you know what I mean? Instead of, you know, tending to your duties, which is serving Yahweh Shem Shai and looking for that great reward, man. Okay? So, for this message to enter in ye, you have to get rid of that old man, because it doesn't sit well with that old man. The old man will walk away sorrowful. Set him on his way. Okay? And that's what you want. You want the old man to walk away sorrowful. You want the old man to be crushed. Okay? Because in order for that new message to come in, just like we always say, 2 kings can't sit on the same throne. Okay? What kind of fish thing you deal with? 2 kings cannot sit on the same throne. So it's either you serving the God of this world or you serving Yahweh Shem Shai. And when you kick the old man out and bring in that new message, you're putting on the new man. You're putting on Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay? And that's what that old man needs. That old man needs a good hard kick in his ass to get the hell out. Okay? And board up the doors so he never comes back in. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Okay? And you don't wanna you know, like I said, you gotta practice what you preach, man. Okay? And you gotta bring yourself under subjection to Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay? A lot of individuals, they can't do that. They can't, you know, listen to this word, as we would tell you, kill the old man, you know, put on that new man, because the old man will kill you, bro. You'll end up in up Shit's Creek, as we say, because when sudden destruction cometh upon this place, you're not gonna be protected. There's no hedge for you, okay? And you're gonna get caught out there. So that's what, you know, but I keep under my body, putting your putting your flesh under subjection to the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. All right? When you're looking to obtain, that salvation, you gotta put your flesh under subjection to the will, the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? If you don't, that's it. You're gonna get caught out there and you're gonna get destroyed. Okay? Because one thing for sure, okay? The Lord deals with his balance, right? You got the right hand and you got the left hand. You got some who will be saved and some who will be destroyed, just like you got life and death, right? So what side do you want to be on? Because there's going to be a parting of sunder, as you can say, all right? And if you want to be on the side that gets destroyed, well, that's up to you. But the instructions are here on how to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, okay? So, let's go back into this. As I was saying there, 2 Corinthians, you gotta get rid of that old man. The old man will have you marked, okay? So continuing in this. Verse 17, Salakia. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. So when you put on this information, when you get this information, and you put off that old man, when you kick the one out of, like I said, for two kings cannot sit on the same throne. One foot can be in and one foot can be out. So putting away the world, putting away the way that you used to live, Remember it says in past time we used to live as Gentiles, right? So we put off the world. As you put off the world and you receive this information here and you start walking in the spirit, doing what you're supposed to do towards Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, right? Then you're that new creature in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, okay? You're not that old man, okay? Which is of the world, all right? So, going back into this. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. See that? It's talking about the old man and the way you used to think, okay? So, all things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. So everything that you're doing, you're not acting like you used to act before. You're not behaving as a man, as the man that you were in this world. Or a woman, right? So that's the, good thing about it. When you get that new message from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, or Salakia, when you get that message, when he stands there and knocks at the door and you open up, yeah, that's good. You're on your road to salvation, man. You just gotta keep, as the scriptures say, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved, right? This thing about endurance, man. Keeping those things, holding those things, right? Revelation 1 and 3, blessed is he that readeth, and those that hear these words, and keep those things, for the time is at hand, roughly phrasing. And that's the important thing. Read, hear, keeping them, doing, serving the Lord in sincerity and in truth, all right? If you're truly looking for salvation, So going back into this, jump out there. Ephesians, is it 21? I thought it was 24. I think I should read up a little bit more. Ephesians 4. Yeah. Let me read up from verse 21. So if be, Ephesians 4 and 21. So if be ye heard him, so if be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahushai, that ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man. That's, things of the world, when you were in the world, doing things of the world, right? Which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, okay? And, deceitful desires, and be renewed in in the spirit of your mind, into your head, right? Your thoughts, right? That's why you have to kick that old king off the throne, right? Because this message with the old man, this message doesn't sit well, okay? Because the old man is lusting, adoring for the world, okay? Desiring the things of the world, desiring to be somebody in this world, right? Which that is going to lead you to what? Destruction, all right? And all things here are temporal anyways, you know? I don't want no corrupted crown. But anyways, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And that ye put on the new man, which is after Yahweh, is created in righteousness and true holiness. Okay? So yeah, I wanted something back here though. But yeah, put off that old man. The old man cannot receive this message, okay? The old man will get you, fucked up is what we say. You're going to be in that lake of fire. You're going to get destroyed, okay? And here it is, you got a chance for salvation, But you're serving your lot. If you got to go in that fire, you're serving your lot. If you got to get salvation, you're serving your lot, regardless. But the point here is, his son made a sacrifice, where's yours? Okay? You want salvation, you want good, you want protection, you gotta earn it. Alright? You gotta earn it. Okay? Nothing comes free. That's why it says that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Okay? Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6, but without faith it's impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So seek Yahweh Shem El Shai wholeheartedly, man. Okay? Not 1 foot in the world, 1 foot, no. Your salvation is on the line. Alright? Salvation is on the line. So we gotta seek Yahweh Shem El Shai with our whole heart. Alright? This is not a joke, this is not a game. Okay? And as you would say, the time is coming short, man. Okay? The time is closing out. Alright? So we gotta seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai. While we could work, the day is open while we could work. Hey, seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. We gotta earn that reward. Alright? So with that, hey, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified, Lord willing, to the next time, Akim. Shalom and abad babon.